It's time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pantelis podcast. For those of you watching this live on Patreon, thanks for being there. Tell your friends. My guest today, friend of the show. Always fun to have him around. Always fun to bust his balls. It's Guido Grasso, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, guys. Hey, Patreons.
Yes.
How are you, Poseidon?
Oh, yeah. Well, we also have Poseidon here. I mean, he comes with the furniture. He's part of the decor.
A fixture.
Yeah, he's been doing French cast, English podcasts. He doesn't care. Poseidon's here for the long
Next
haul.
level?
I found something out about Poseidon yesterday.
What?
Poseidon is the father of Cyclops.
Oh, you mean the Greek god?
No, you.
Yeah, obviously. Well, he does beat his Cyclops on the reg.
I watched something last night on Travel Escape Channel, which is a great channel.
So, dude, we were looking for you for a while now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
went off the fucking
Yeah.
grid
Yeah.
I
like
still
a
am,
goddamn
kind of.
psychopath. And what I found out about you was during this whole crisis, it kind of made me angry. At the same time, I was like, it's a Guido move. If anyone's going to do
Very
something
much.
crazy like this, it's a Guido move. You decided to move into a hotel because you're like, I don't need to save money. Into an actual hotel, like a real life, full-fledged, not a motel, not a fucking on the highway. You to an actual hotel with pools and lobbies, and you decided to fucking move in there with 3 other people.
Yeah, basically, as
In the
you
same
know,
room?
No. There was the entire hotel, hundreds of fucking
200 rooms.
200 rooms, 3 fucking rooms taken
Yeah, I
because
went-
there's no tourists.
So basically, as you know, I sold just before COVID. I was fortunate enough to sell my apartment. So basically paid off debts and am virtually homeless. So I decided to really self-isolate. When I'm talking about self-isolating, I mean I was off the grid. So I isolated on social media and I isolated physically. No one saw. You haven't heard. No one's heard.
No,
from
no.
me.
I thought there was a chance. I thought either he caught the virus, he couldn't handle it, he's dead.
Oh, twice that I thought I caught the virus.
someone broke
Turns
his
out it
leg.
was a urinary tract infection.
Yeah.
So I went to the Best Western Airport, Montreal,
Mm-hmm.
in Dorval, and I don't know if you've been there, but there's an atrium where basically indoors it looks like you're outdoors around the pool with palm trees.
So you were like, you know what? I'm fucking outdoors. I don't know what everyone's talking about. I'm living the dream.
Yeah, I swear to God, if in January you ever get the blues, go to the Best Western on Côte de Liesse, and it's amazing. There's palm trees, a swimming pool, and I'm there. It's like I'm in a resort by myself. They knew me there. It was just me. It was literally just me and some people that appeared to have camera equipment because they were maybe reporters or journalists coming to do something. That's
Interesting.
it. I hung out there for a week and I got a lot of shit done. I got off the grid because, as you know, I have a hamster in my brain running around. I got 100,000 things.
It's
going
better than having a gerbil up your ass.
Correct. Like, you know who started that rumor?
Hmm.
Sylvester Stallone got into a fight with Richard Gere on the movie The Lords of Flatbush.
Okay.
That's the movie where Fonzie, Henry Winkler,
He does know.
learned how to make the character of Fonzie is because he
was
imitated
in
Stallone,
Stallone, yeah, he
on
was-
Lords of Flatbush. And that's how he did a little Jewish guy, plays an Italian guy in Milwaukee. And so Stallone got into a fight with Richard Gere on Lords of Flatbush and told the producer, either you get rid of him or I leave. They decided to fire Richard Gere and kept Stallone. And because of that fight, Stallone started that rumor that Richard Gere has a gerbil up his ass. That's
Okay.
still to this day. And this is before
I never heard the Richard Gere thing. I just heard that it was a big thing.
Yeah,
that
that's
people were doing that
Richard
now.
Gere. And that's these
Urban legends.
it's amazing how they go around because before the internet, we all knew, like the
It's amazing how they start.
Ruck was in Stéphane Richer.
Oh, don't talk to me about Quebec rumors. I don't know anything about the
Back in the day.
pop culture here.
Yeah.
I don't know pop culture.
Yeah, that was one back in the day. So that's where gerbil comes from. So I've been isolating, took care of some stuff, having to deal with the restaurant that's been closed, and
So are you going? I mean,
writing.
What did you write? Have you written a script?
I've written jokes and premises and script ideas.
I don't believe a goddamn word you're telling me.
I
but-
can read them to you. And I've also played a little bit with some stocks.
Oh, so did me and Poseidon. Poseidon literally, I'm going to say this because I think it's ridiculous. Before you got here, he went to our good friend Harry, who I'm going to have on the podcast in a little bit, talking to us about stocks and all that.
Your guru,
My guru, yeah. And he went and told me, bro, I bought this stock. Take a look at it. So he looked, he's like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you buying? Why'd you buy this? He's like, well, I have an account. I can buy stocks. I went and I Googled stocks to buy.
Yeah,
And
okay.
it told me to buy this. And he's like, sell them right
What
fucking now.
list? What did you buy? What did he buy?
I have no idea. So,
One of them?
Just a stupid stock. I was just playing around.
Okay,
I wanted to
but
see.
it wasn't. How much was it?
Huh?
How much?
I lost like $30.
but how much did you put in total and then you had to pull out and then you ended up losing 30?
I put in 215.
Okay. Yeah.
Pulled out 190.
And it cost,
Yeah,
it cost you $10.
Yeah, basically it cost him altogether $30 to fuck around for 20 minutes. Like, it's a dumb, what a waste of money.
That's not that bad.
Well, look, I'm also learning the app. That's why I did
That's
that.
not there's other ways to learn.
I've,
It's not like, bro, I'm just testing the shocks. That's why I fucking
Yeah.
drove off a cliff.
Basically, yeah, that's dinner, a movie. 2 tickets to a movie you did on your phone. I bought, what did I buy? I diversified, as they say. I remember I bought, a couple of weeks ago, I bought American Airlines.
Yeah, everyone was doing that.
I bought Moderna, the vaccine one, and I bought Air Canada.
Did you buy them late, early?
Of Moderna, I bought Friday, May 8th.
But by the way, I just want to add that loss came back to me. I got like 45 dumplings.
Oh, good for you.
That is true. That is
You know,
true.
so-
How did you
There-
get dumplings?
It's a, huh?
There was a mistake in an order. One of our friends ordered dumplings
Even Steven.
of the vegan variety, and they brought him meat.
Yeah.
And he said, "I don't eat the meats." And then Poseidon said, "Well, I eat trash, so I'm cool with anything."
I eat garbage. You know what? Have you ever heard of this? I don't know if Mike ever brought you to a restaurant called Sushi Momo.
Where is it?
It's on Saint Denis and Sherbrooke. I'm not joking. I'm
think
not
so.
kidding. A Tinder girl brought me there once. It is not one of the best vegan restaurants I've ever been to. It's one of the top 10 restaurants I've been to, bro. And it's vegan. It's like I had a mushroom tartare
Right.
that was better than beef. Like I was. It would.
Are you still podcasting?
This place was on a Monday night. It's still full. I currently Southern Boys is on hiatus.
I have a theory about that, by the way.
Please.
Do you think maybe it's on hiatus because whenever you're on a podcast, whether it's yours or ours, you refuse to speak into the microphone? Do you think that
I'm always. I don't know.
because this is
Where am I? Am I
no,
here?
here's my impression.
What is my thing?
Okay,
Do me. I want
let
to
me
see
do
what
you.
I do.
This
Mirror
is you.
me.
This is you. So yeah, the podcast is on hiatus right now, and that's actually you.
I
I
think-
don't know why people don't understand how to talk on podcasts, and that's
Maybe
literally
it's because I don't know. Am I hearing
So
myself
you're
enough?
speaking into the microphone, but
Can you put my headphones louder?
I could put
Would you?
everyone's headphones louder. He used to just get mad about that.
No, put mine a little louder
except
because
for
I
mine,
want.
'cause I have sensitive hearing.
Okay, how about now? Your
I
guys are good?
have.
Like I can hear from very far away.
I
Yeah.
don't. My sense of
How do you feel now?
a little better. I hear myself now. I'm
little louder.
My
Yeah, it's
sense
good.
of
I'm
smell is very strong. My sight is very strong. My hearing is going to go. Everybody in my
business
family
sense,
wears
still
hearing
garbage.
aids. Yes, I never thought
So Southern Boy's on hiatus right now. I don't like to hear that.
I don't like to hear it either. I gotta meet up with Massimo probably tonight. We gotta see what's happening. No particular reason except that he has some things going on where he might have to move. And we wanted to see if we could do it remotely, which
Yeah.
in this day and age, that's what everybody's doing.
I mean, look, you can, but I'm gonna be honest, it's not ideal. Even I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
angry that a 2-drink minimum is still being done remotely.
He mentioned that. Like right now, I'm feeling your dynamic, yours. We're in the same room. There's
Yeah.
an energy. So he was insistent on if it always has to be like CNN talking heads, it's not the same.
It's not.
He has a point.
He's very
So
accurate. Yeah.
This is where we're at. So we're just waiting for this wave, see what's going to happen. Otherwise, I'd have to, because he would have to go to Florida, but that's his personal life. I don't want to divulge what Massimo has to
it's
do
not
to
exactly.
Patreons.
It wasn't exactly where the question was headed.
He's it's in limbo right now, but we love doing it and we want to keep doing it. As you know, I love podcasts and
Well, you're a
Talk
talk radio enthusiast for years.
Big
You
time.
you were a fan of everything on talk radio. You liked Howard Stern. You liked Opie and Anthony. You probably listened to even these local.
on the way
buffoons.
here, I was listening to CJAD. Okay, it's like deep down, I'm 95 years old. I used to love the Tom Snyder show, after friggin' David Letterman. This is before the Late Show with Craig Ferguson. I'm talking about these guys that just talk, or Larry King, Charlie Rose,
I like Larry
one-on-one.
King.
Because I feel if I'm listening to music in my car that's on Mix 96 or whatever, Virgin, I feel like I'm shopping at Aldo. Whereas at least if I'm listening to talk, I feel like I'm learning something. And that's where it came from 99. So I'm talking from 1999. I was in New York. I was listening to Ron and Fez.
Oh, I love
First
Ron and
person
Fez.
I listened to in talk was Ron Bennington.
Really? Oh, Ron.
I listened to Ron Bennington. It was on 1 to 3 on NEW. And then these guys, Opie and Anthony, were on at 3 o'clock. And then I started hearing these guys were funny. Everyone was, the virus, Opie and Anthony. The 100 grand they gave away. These guys are hilarious. And I wasn't waking up early for Howard Stern. Sometimes I would, but I would listen to these Opie and Anthony guys.
Opie and Anthony was on, at 11 at that point?
WNEW. No, this is when they were still 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. when they were on 57th Street, when they would go to the diner and Stalker Patty would hang out all the time, and Tippy Tom, the homeless guy, and they did the homeless shopping spree. Did you know what that is?
Don't look up a sign. He doesn't know what anything is.
Okay, so homeless shopping spree.
No, you don't have to describe homeless. That's not what this is. That's not what this podcast is.
But I loved it. It was just basically people would call in. They would get a bunch of homeless guys from New York City and put them on a bus, give them a bunch of booze, and just talk and just report on what's going on, sending out to a mall, like sending homeless people to Rockland and updating people. They were laughing. Anyway, so that's it. Talk radio. Love talk radio.
Point is, you love all this shit. I'm gonna try to sum it up for you, because clearly there's something wrong in your head. You love talk radio. You want to keep doing podcasts, but if you and Mass if the band breaks up, my question to you is, why don't you just start a new podcast? It could be, and it's gonna sound like I'm fucking with you, but I'm not. You see how passionate you are recanting historical facts about things you like. Usually it's movies, talk radio. Why don't you have the Guido podcast? We'll find out a cool name for it, where you go back to specific movies, times in history that were important to you, and you recap what happened and your opinion on it. So, for example, Howard going to satellite, the fucking gerbil in Richard Gere's ass, the virus years, the homeless shopping street, all that. But they're each self-contained episodes where the one episode is just about one specific thing. I think that would be interesting. Plus, guys like him that now are involved in that sphere and don't even know the history of it would listen and learn something. Plus, it's interesting. It's stuff that I remember fondly. So it's stuff that I would listen to too. If you would do it, I would definitely be putting you on.
I appreciate that. It's true. I just, I'm scattered, man.
I know. That's why I'm trying to motivate you.
Motivate me. And if I can be focused, I could, and I will. It's not I could, it's I will. That's not a bad idea. This day in radio history.
Yeah, but just don't do a fucking stupid voice.
No, but I listened to Sex for Sam live.
I remember Sex for Sam.
What is that?
Basically,
you heard sex, huh?
Yeah.
Sam Adams Beer. Sam Adams Beer was the sponsor of Opie and Anthony, and what they did was they had, for points, they would send people around New York City to have sex in famous places.
Landmarks.
Rockefeller Center. So it's and who was Paul Mercurio? Was
a
one
church
of them.
confessional booth.
So Bob Kelly is with somebody at Rockefeller Center, and he's giving the radio listeners the play-by-play. All right, so he's at Rockefeller. All right, he's in her ass, yeah, and everyone's clapping, and
That sounds like fun.
and they make points. And this couple on the list went to the confessional of the cathedral. We're talking, the cardinal is there, and they had anal sex in the vestibule, in the confessional. And immediately when they heard this on the radio, they were like, do we dump out? Do we dump out or do we keep it? And they kept it. And by keeping it, they got suspended for 2 years. And
with pay, right?
With pay. And then they ended up signing the XM Sirius deal. First it was XM, which was a lucrative deal. They had to shut up for 2 years.
Yeah.
Because they were still on contract. Then finally they come back, and XM, which was then what this was before Howard, was Sirius, and then they merged. They went and got through their agent, who's that scary agent that he talks about all the time? Bob Eatman. This looks like a vampire. He gave them the best deal of their lives, which you saw Anthony's house, made them on XM, where they were competitors, and then here we are.
I think I'm agreeing with Pantelis here. You should start something like that.
Yeah, you shouldn't do it fucking here because this is supposed to be all you.
Yeah.
The
I will,
fuck is
I will,
Grasso?
I will
Something
do
like
that.
Guido reminiscing or
Do I need
Grasso.
No, don't listen to him for titles. The guy's a fucking retard.
Do you? Let me ask you this: did you feel weird the first time you did a show where it was just you talking to a mic and a camera?
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, and like right, if it's almost like I need a picture of you, a cardboard cutout in front of me. I'll talk to him.
Well, here's the thing. In the beginning, I was having trouble. Now I started doing more and more bonus episodes for my patrons on Patreon, and they're just audio, and it helps because then what happens after a couple episodes, you get used to you're talking to someone like me. I'm talking to the patrons.
Yeah, you
get it?
focus on there's somebody there listening.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of them. So I'm trying to explain stuff for them, give them updates, and it's for them. Like I have a target audience, so that helps. But in the beginning, it was awkward. Like I did a couple, one or two Pantelis podcasts here alone, and I would look at the camera and just speak. And I didn't like it. It wasn't fun for me. People were like, no, do more. But for me, it's just because I'm not a YouTuber. I don't have the
These kids, they're so good at it. And
yeah, they have the YouTube gene where it's you're talking to nobody as if you're talking to someone. And I like conversations.
I'm all about it. We grew up in Italian or Greek cafes.
It's probably that, yeah.
I even if I have an audition at home and I'm alone practicing, I feel stupid talking out loud in my own house.
Oh, by the way, have you, has your agent gotten you any new auditions? I told her again. She keeps sending me stuff that it's like she's setting me up to say no to it, and then I look like the asshole.
No, she sent me.
She sent me a
something the
Tim
other
Hortons
day.
one?
Yeah, she sent me that, and I got it late. I didn't send it. I've missed two of them.
I'll tell you why I said no. First of all, it cheapens my brand because I'm Pantelis, and they basically wanted me to be just a nobody who's been stuck in the house for 2 months.
Don't be in a rush for that.
And cut my hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? You think for $3,000, I'm
That's
going to
it.
cut my hair and I'm going to pretend like I'm some fucking nobody who's done nothing in 3 months?
You
but
are in
wait for Tim Hortons. Why don't you guys suck my dick?
I think you're in a weird place right now because you're on the rise with your brand, and if you didn't have this and you were a regular dude,
then yeah.
you go there. Sure, hey, $3,000. Now it's like Pantelis is. No, make Tim Hortons approach you when you're
Exactly.
Pantelis.
I'm
and be,
above.
I got you.
The problem is I'm above that. No, and
It's like-
it sucks to say, but it's true. I can't do that. You know?
It's like my theory on JFL. And why audition every March until you get better and get accepted when you can just keep doing what you're doing and one day they'll knock on your door?
yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. Then why did you stop doing what you were doing?
I haven't. I'm always doing what I'm doing. It just,
What does that even mean?
you know what my life consists of constantly? It's
Stupid decisions.
reorganizing and cleaning up and reorganizing and making lists of things that I have to do. It's like I have tick, tick, next.
Yeah, that's because you make a lot of stupid decisions.
And I'm very, I have a lot of influence in my family because here it's always been the
You're the top influencer
dichotomy. How's
of
this
Grasso
word?
Tube.
You like this word dichotomy? So
Yeah, it's Greek.
I have, it probably is, I'm sure.
is.
So I have, which means,
It's a dichotomy.
okay, and what does it mean?
It's like it's two competing thoughts.
So I have the restaurant and that to deal with, and at the same time try to have some creative life outside of it, and at the same time literally have this life on another country. Where's my hand? So it's always that. I'm always eliminating, like, okay, once I get this done, then I can do this. Okay, now I just have to do this, and I can do it. And then 20 years goes by.
Look, man.
By the way, I thought you were in Asia.
Yeah, that video I sent. Did you see that video
No.
of the outdoor butcher shop in Hong Kong?
From you or in general?
From me.
No, not from you. I've seen outdoor butcher shops in Hong Kong.
It was the most
You don't know this about
putrid-
me, but I'm an amateur enthusiast of outdoor butcher shops in Hong Kong. Indoor butcher shops, a little bit, not as much as the outdoor ones.
Okay,
it's just the
well-
kind of things I'm into. I'm also all about beating up Hong Kong citizens.
Didn't something happen with Hong Kong lately?
Yeah, of course. They're trying to give China a bad name. When has China ever done anything bad? What are they? These people in Hong Kong, man.
I'll tell you, Hong Kong has two. Look, I had an 8-hour layover when I went to Australia with our friend, with your best friend with the hair.
Yeah.
We had an 8-hour layover in Hong Kong. So we figure, okay, we get there at 7:30 in the morning. We're not going to stay at the airport. Let's leave. So we went. Hong Kong is either the richest people in the world or absolute poverty. There's not really in between.
I think that's Asia in general.
Is it?
Yeah.
So
Except for Japan.
We're in Times Square. It's called Times Square, and you have a mall with Louis Vuitton, Chanel, this, that, all like the top big money. And then you go down the street a little bit, and you go to this market where you have
Where they're eating raccoons.
where it looks like Chinatown here. Looks like, except it is actually China. And so you have outdoor markets with turtles.
China.
So I mean, they probably
Fruits.
just call it a town, Grasso.
And there's butcher shops. Now, I guess, yeah, they probably don't call it Chinatown. They probably just
You
call
know
it-
that apparently they don't even call Chinese food Chinese food. They just say food.
Yeah.
And you know what? They don't really have breakfast there. They have soup for breakfast.
That's
What?
right. Well, I mean, isn't breakfast anything that you eat at breakfast
Yeah,
time?
yeah. So and they
think
have
that's
like
why
a bit
they're
of
so skinny?
brioche, but considering breakfast, a hot soup is not that bad for you in the morning because the hot. Anyway, whatever. So we're walking through this market, and
Your podcast should be called I Digress.
I Digress.
With Guido Grasso.
So here's there's this butcher shop, and basically a cow being slaughtered right there. And
Don't say that next time. He gets
it's
offended.
hot like this. It's hot like this outside. It's
Yeah.
what are we now?
32 degrees
32,
Celsius.
so what is that?
What is that in
80,
American?
90?
103
No,
Fahrenheit.
yeah, maybe about 90 something degrees. So
Yeah.
it's hot. It's not even, and the meat is hot,
Disgusting.
and the smell. It's pure. What I'm seeing is not a butcher shop. I'm seeing rigor mortis in front of me. I'm seeing, and there's a hoof, and the guy's hacking at the hoof, and just hanging meat on what they would use to put sunglasses for sale.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I'm seeing it, and I'm literally gagging.
Yeah, where are we going with this?
That's it. You said you thought I was in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So and that
If-
8-hour
I'm telling you, if you don't start a podcast called I Digress with Guido Grasso,
That-
I'll fucking choke you
that
out.
8-hour
I'm
podcast.
going to pull a fucking white police officer on a black guy and I will choke you the fuck
That's
out.
so sad. That 8-hour layover turned into a 4-hour layover. Went right back to the airport and ate pizza.
You know what? Your stories, as long as they end with pizza, it's a happy time.
Yeah, I'm
Pizza equals happiness. That's what we learned.
I'm
from
looking
this.
forward to getting that pizza shop going again.
What are you talking about? You are you? So you gotta fucking man. You gotta focus. So are you the only one that could run that restaurant?
Here's what's happening is at this moment, the only option is for me to run that restaurant or to get somebody I completely trust to be my clone
Right.
and be there while I'm not.
Do you think maybe you're the one hurting the restaurant?
I
Because I don't know about running the restaurant. But I wouldn't have you run my lemonade stand.
I would
Maybe
have
you
to-
need fresh blood. Maybe you gotta hire your nephew. You gotta bring in a young
I would
whippersnapper.
like somebody with like organized like yourself. I'm very much the creative type. I'll make a pizza that you guys have had. I'll make you cry. It's so
Delicious.
delicious. I'm really good at that. The organization is it's not my strongest point, and I'm trying. That's all I could say. My family can't do it no more.
Fugazi Joe's, bro.
Yeah, my
For those of
family
you who
that
don't
was
know-
Fugazi Joe's.
For those of you who don't know, we were in New York. It was myself, Mike Ward, Guido Grasso, and Massimo. It was a Thursday night. We had just hung out with the late, great Carl Ruiz.
Carl Ruiz, such a nice guy.
And we were on our way just to walk around the city. It was night. It was beautiful. And Grasso says, "Hey, man, have you guys ever had Joe's Pizza?" And me and Mike were like, "No." Mike's also a vegetarian, he's a vegan. He's like, "You have to have Joe's Pizza." That's where we got the idea or the recipe, whatever the fuck, to start our
Yeah.
pizza. It's the best pizza. He is bragging about Joe so much where even though it's 2:00 in the morning, we're like, you know what, motherfucker? We're going to go get some fucking Joe's Pizza because
Yeah.
it's in New York and at 2 in the morning we can get a TV and
And I
a
was like,
pizza.
let's go here. No. Let's walk another 4 blocks.
So we walk 4 blocks, 5 blocks. We go to this Joe's Pizza. And when I tell you that Grasso was excited, I was happy for Grasso introducing us to Joe's Pizza. That's how happy he was. It was one of those moments like a kid is showing you something that has no effect on you, but you're like, you know what? I'm happy because he's happy.
No.
So he's showing it to me. We go in there. They're all Algerians. I was like, this seems Italian.
Yeah, I couldn't
And-
believe that. Okay, the
And the guy's
original
like,
Joe's is
hallelujah. So, what do you want?
Oh, it's like
So-
a present situation
Listen,
in
I
Europe.
give him first of all. The second I knew shit was weird is when I had to pay, and I gave him my card to swipe, and then you have to give back the machine to put in your password. And he's like, "Give me your password."
Yeah,
do
I
it for me.
remember that.
And I was like, "What?"
Oh
And
my
he's like, "Yeah." I
God.
go, "No, I'm gonna come back." So then I went in the back of the restaurant. I went in the kitchen to
how
do it. I
many
was like, "I'm gonna
people
give him-"
got ripped off?
Yeah, I was like, "I'm gonna give you my." Are we all fucking crazy here right now? Like, what the fuck's happening?
Oh.
So, anyways,
Long
so-
story short,
The pizza was not that great.
Because what these people did was
And
they
then
took the name.
This asshole started saying, "Bro, that was a Fugazi Joe's, bro. It wasn't a real. It was a Fugazi Joe's."
Well, hold on. If it was a Fugazi Joe's, why did you stay?
Oh.
Because it was late, we were tired. Mike was. We were all
Where else
tired.
are we gonna go at this point? Like we literally.
We were in Chelsea. We were in the 23rd Street, and the original Joe's is on Carmine and Bleecker in Greenwich Village and 6th Avenue. That's Joe's where Spider-Man worked. If you remember, he was delivering pizzas.
Did you know this prior to?
No, it just Massimo checked on his phone. Oh, there's a Joe's here, and I said, "Oh wow, they have franchise." Went there. I'm like, "No, this is not Joe's. It's it was. They took the name Joe's, and they're probably
It was Algerian Joe's.
yeah, and they're
But
probably.
I don't know why they
closed now.
called it Joe's. They should have just called it Ahmed so that we know what we're getting. But it wasn't Joe's.
In any case, to that point, the restaurant now has been revamped. My place.
Is it called Fugazi Grasso?
No. You know that word fugazi was invented.
Every
by-
word was invented.
by Johnny Depp in Donnie Brasco. It didn't exist before that.
That there's no way that's true.
No,
Google it.
I don't believe it.
You tell me Donnie Brasco invented a word?
Invented the word fugazi, or put it in the popular lexicon.
That's a different.
But
a
it
different
wasn't as you know how Greeks have malaka.
Yeah,
it
we have
wasn't. It wasn't a word like we use
Okay.
all the time.
Well, here we have the word Malizer.
Malizer is very local.
Very local.
And I know because you're not only adding Pig Latin, but you're adding a derivative of Pig Latin.
Yeah.
Like that's my fees.
Yeah.
My fees mean that's my father.
Yeah, and then
because
you-
it's short for fees other.
Yeah. But then normally you could double up on that too. It's Maizfe. Maizfe is father.
That's great. I love that. So we made the menu a little smaller. The restaurant will physically be smaller. I ordered plexiglass, and we're really concentrating on the takeout just in case people don't fill up the restaurant. But I think
Okay.
they will.
So here I'm gonna tell you something right now that fucking pissed me off about you. Because I want what bothers me about you is you not succeeding angers me. Like
I appreciate that. I bother me.
I
about
want
that.
people to succeed and you fuck yourself. You're your own worst enemy. So when this whole thing started, I told you, listen, man, you're gonna put all your efforts. You're gonna join Uber Eats. You're gonna hire a delivery guy. Whatever the fuck you need to do, you're gonna cash in on this COVID-19 thing. You did none of the above.
Oh no, I could not.
But let me tell you something right now. There's I'm not gonna name names because fuck them. Let them promote themselves. But my girlfriend's in accounting. She's in payroll. So there's businesses that they weren't doing that well before the COVID-19. Restaurants.
And they
And then
quadrupled.
they went full delivery. The guy said I had to fire everyone else, but I hired all kinds of delivery guys. He goes, I am fucking destroying. He goes, I cannot make these pizzas fast enough.
Good for him.
So the whole time, every time she would tell me this, you'd think I'd be like, oh, good for them. I was happy. I don't even know this. I was like, good for them. But at the same time, I was like, Grasso's
appreciate
a
that.
fucking
I-
retard.
It's not that black and white. Unfortunately, I have to pass by Congress. It's really hard to get shit done in my place. It's 10
The
years.
Senate is the issue.
Is that I have even now where I take the reins, I'm still doing what my father tells me to do, and
You're a bitch.
it's it is what it is, and we're just doing what we have to do. It's more important. The most important thing for me right now,
Yeah.
as far as the restaurant is concerned, is that my aging parents have nothing to do with it and can sit in the backyard and watch the tomatoes. That's what I want them to do. And every
the
day,
life.
every day that goes by, they feel they're obligated to because they're just part of that generation. I want to get them out of there, and that's what I'm in the process of doing.
So I don't know what works. Like especially like I can't tell you I know better. That would be a blatant lie. I don't even know what works in podcasting. Like you try different things. You see what sticks and you kind of push into that, and you make little adjustments. Like here you're I don't know if you noticed, but since the last time you've been here, we got more lights.
Yeah, they're great.
These two right here. These
I
weren't-
remember
these weren't here.
Massimo.
Me and you right now we're both being lit by both
Beautifully.
sides because we used to not have these, and I did not like like on this side of my face. It used to be dark on podcasts. It used to be darker. So I said, you know what? Yours too. I said, you know what? Let's cook us a bit. Let's put in lights. They don't burn.
I think they're great.
Yeah. So I make little adjustments as we go that I feel could help the overall thing.
It's consistency. What was I saying? I've said this to Massimo a lot, and he agreed, and he said it back. Sometimes I would listen to Anthony, not because it's not necessarily a funny episode, but I'm just interested because I like the guy.
Yeah.
I'm regularly. I'll listen to Aaron Rand at 4:00. man, it's a shit. But he's likable. I think he's informative. He's smart.
You get used to these people. You get used to the people that are your talk radio buddies.
Some people would say, I listen to you guys on my way to work. It just reminds me of Montreal, and I use that.
I get on people tell me they listen to me on work. Some people at work, which is the best. Like especially if you're at an office environment, and I'm telling people to go fuck themselves, and you're like, yeah, you love that shit. So everyone has their own different. The thing that always surprises me, and now I fell into the trap. I do the same thing. I can never work out and listen to podcasts. And then people were telling me, I listen to you when I'm on the treadmill. I listen to you when I work. I was like, who the fuck does that shit? I need music. Now I started walking, doing my exercises around the neighborhood. And I started putting podcasts and audiobooks.
Yeah.
And now I see what they mean.
But going for a walk for me and listening to a podcast is wonderful.
It's the best.
But different than on a treadmill. On a
Well,
treadmill,
I'm
dying. I got to listen to Rocky IV on a
That's
treadmill.
what I used to always listen to rock music, right?
Yeah.
I ran the other day. I ran all around your restaurant, by the way. I go up there, I come back down Lackady. And I was listening to audiobook. And I was engaged the whole time I was running, and into the book I was loving. I was like peacefully running. Whereas when I put music, I'm motivated running. I'm feeling it.
But you're a little agitated almost.
A little agitated, which I never noticed until I started doing it, listening to podcasts and audiobooks. And I was like, oh, fuck, these people were fucking right. They were telling me, dude, I listen to you when I'm working out or whatever. I was like, and I even say, how the fuck do that? That seems weird. They were correct.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You are self-aware. And if somebody changes your mind, you will stand corrected.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, I've
noticed
said
that
before
about
that's
you.
the problem.
That's a problem with a lot of people. They just
I'm wrong a lot.
wait for people to finish talking so they can say their point.
Yeah, no, I'm wrong a lot. And when somebody proves me wrong, like I'm like, oh fuck, okay.
But you're also aware that you're feeling agitated.
Yes.
That's why I stepped off of social media. Not for any other reason. I love everybody on there, but I don't need. Human beings have never in the history of humanity had been influenced by 10,000 people on a daily basis at the same time.
It is crazy, yeah.
Influence,
kinda nuts,
meaning
yeah.
you read what this guy thinks, you read what that guy thinks, you read that article, and boom, boom, boom.
And
This
it
is all
fucks with
affecting you.
your perspective.
It's so
even-
detrimental. I think, and it's good, as a comedian. Oh, you need social media. But
No.
sometimes it just sucks you. That's why I stepped off.
Sometimes I use it incorrectly. So the way I should be using social media, the way I should 100% be using it is to engage with my fans. Because we have a rapport now with my fans. We have chat rooms, we have the Discord on Twitter.
Perfect.
There's fan art, there's all that. So we have it's a fun thing that we're creating. But I don't always do that. Sometimes I engage in negativity. Sometimes I'll be on social media and I'll end up fighting with a stranger that has no bearing on my life.
And what did that add to you?
That adds nothing. But the good thing is that now I have no agitation. Like I joke, like I could give a fuck about these people that I fight with. So that's a good thing. But at the same time, I shouldn't be engaging in like a lot of these people that I'll fight with. Then I'll look at their profile and I'll feel bad for them. Like I'll look at what they're doing in their life. Like, oh, well, I'm fighting. Like, of course this guy's pissed off. He's got nothing.
Yeah, but
Like-
what could you have been doing that's more productive at that moment?
Anything. I could have been writing. I could have been editing. I could have been doing.
Also, it's all prefrontal cortex shit. We're releasing dopamine. That's all that is. And
I prefer to try it because I'm never gonna change the manner and the style of my jokes. Like I'm always gonna say fucked up shit that I find funny, but people are like, well, that's not politically correct. Well, I'm not. My goal is not to be politically correct. My goal is to be funny. And the first, the first trial of that is to see if I accept it. If I think it's funny, and it makes me laugh, I'm gonna say it. So my goal is never to offend. My goal is to be funny.
I used to be,
and I end up
exactly
offending
like that.
people sometimes. So that I'm not going to change. But I do like the fact that lately we've been growing for all the podcasts. This goes with 2 Drink Minimum, Pantelis Live, everything. We've been growing a bigger community, and there's stuff coming out of it that I never thought of, like fan art, like different fan art.
I love that. There's one right there.
Yeah,
You look like Walt Disney.
Yeah, there's fan art's coming out of it. Just engage Poseidon, like talking to people on our Discord, getting ideas. I'll put up polls and then be like, "What do you guys think? This, and this." Like, I had put up a poll, and at one point people were asking about like different videos. Like, is there any way that I could make other stuff? Not to stop doing anything we're doing, but is there anything that I could do? So I pulled my resources together. What I had available was a camera and footage that he can get me. And I put up that video of him eating 2 days ago, which people liked. So but that all happened because they're like, well, why don't you just use him and do this and do that? I'm like, oh, you know what? Okay, it's an idea. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Well, because
But let's
of
try it.
consistency and because you're engaged in the comments and stuff. Chip Chipperson
Yeah.
only was invented because of consistency. They were on that show for a long time. Over time, he had Uncle Paul.
Yeah.
Ted Sheckler was another. You remember Ted
I
Sheckler?
remember all of them.
And then Chip Chipperson.
Ramon.
Yeah, and
What?
all these characters came from that consistency. Do you
Yeah.
know the term kayfabe?
Yeah.
What?
It's like in wrestling.
Kayfabe was the rule where back in the day when we all believed wrestling was real.
You don't show behind the curtain.
You stay in character all day long outside of your house. You are Macho Man from morning till night, and even when you leave,
When you deal with people that are not in the inner circle, you have to be the character.
yeah. So basically,
yeah.
you can't be Macho Man and Hulk Hogan are take the same taxi to the Madison Square Garden
They're
to go
enemies.
fight because they're enemies.
Exactly.
Okay.
You have to maintain it outside because kayfabe has to be respected
Yeah.
and controlled, or else the rest doesn't work. It loses the
Yeah.
allure.
It changed a bit after Montreal Screwjob Bret Hart. Okay.
Yeah.
That's when. But so with that word kayfabe, this goes into Pantelis brand, Pantelis character, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are doing that without using the word kayfabe. I think crazy. What's his name? The guy married to Kim Kardashian.
Joe Davola, Kanye West.
Kanye West. I think what they're doing is some kind of kayfabe. I don't think you have clearance to get to the White House to sit with the president if you're a crazy guy who shouldn't take his meds.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's a brand. I think that's why he has that much money. I think it's some form of kayfabe. My opinion.
So what's my form of kayfabe?
Well, whatever your opinion is, however you are, whether you get into arguments.
Oh, you mean the fact that I maintain it like I'm the same person podcast
you're-
in, podcast out?
If you choose to be.
Yeah.
But you could be the most liberal communist outside, but when you put the headphones on, you become who you are.
Yeah, well,
And that
I'm
could-
very liberal, sir. I'm all about liberty, but I'm definitely not a goddamn communist.
But the point, my point is, this social media.
I should build a character. It should stop being me. I should
we
build a
are
character.
who we are. We're acting every day.
Well,
so,
the thing is, I
so this
didn't-
could be people can't take
Whenever
it
we
personally.
Yeah.
I'm Guido the brand. Guido the brand is different than Guido the person.
Yeah, I feel like Pantelis the brand is Pantelis with the volume turned up to 11.
Right. I
That's
don't
what it
think.
is.
I think that some of the things that you get angry about on here are you a little bit
More angry than I would be in regular life. Of
right.
course, yeah.
And everybody is doing some form of kayfabe online because they're selling themselves. That's it. That's my. And I watched the Owen Hart behind the.
The Dark Side of the Ring. Where the fuck?
what
It's
a
fucking sad, but
beautiful
cool. Huh?
man. Yeah, what a beautiful kid. And no kidding. No wonder he's not going into the Hall of Fame. They're like,
They killed him.
and his kid became a lawyer. You know, how much does his daughter look like him?
Well, those families, it's crazy because if you look at the heart, a lot of them look like each other. Like they have the look of that family.
Dude, that funeral was like a head of state died in Calgary. Did you see that?
Well, he was a beloved. Here's the thing: people forget. It's not all about, let's say, a politician or like artists. Look, there's a lot of garbage artists out there. There's people like remember when the COVID-19 thing first started. Remember the video they made, like Gal Gadot and all those? Those
Imagine
everyone
all-
in that video. One guy maybe didn't know what the fuck he was doing, but the rest are garbage people who were like, I'm affected too when they weren't. Do you know? It was just some garbage.
I'm a
thing.
famous person, and if you see me talking to you, you'll feel better.
But these people do not represent everyone in the arts, who is creating art. That phoniness. It's kind of what you said, the kayfabe thing. Like they're maintaining their character. You know what I mean? And then I love that Tim Dillon called them all out on it with that
Good.
video with him at the pool. He basically, in $1 Million Mansion, he's like, I'm going through what you regular folks doing. I'm only allowed to swim in this pool and
think
all
I
that.
saw
Oh,
that.
it was fucking
Did you
amazing.
see I think it was an Australian one. Did you
just-
see where they made fun of that? Saying,
But because it makes sense.
if it
It's-
wasn't for that person's
Didn't
video,
a bunch of-
I lost my job. I have
Yeah.
no money, but thank God for celebrities.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. So like you're so out of touch but they're the reason why a lot of people have this distrust with they're like, oh, it's just a fucking celebrity. It's just this because a lot of these celebrities they're manufactured, they're garbage and it doesn't change when they get famous. It just masks it more, you know? But it's not a representation of everyone doing the arts. Like, for example, let's say Joe Rogan. That's the same guy. He's doing this
Yeah.
podcast. You talk to him outside of the podcast. It's the same guy.
The guy in the ring, it's him.
It's the guy. That's what you see him in all these mediums. And you're like, oh fuck, it's always him. Yeah, because it's just him. Put these other actors that like the music people that we saw that did that video, the Imagine video, in different contexts. They're gonna be whatever the
Lot.
fuck you asked them to be.
They're actors.
You're
They're
never gonna
they're
feel like
vessels.
it's them.
Put a script in front of De Niro, tears will come to your eyes. He's fantastic. Give De Niro a microphone, he's useless.
Yeah. That's another thing that I'm surprised about when I see these actors that I looked up to that I thought were great actors, but you see them speaking without a script, and they can't do that.
Zero.
I'm like, hold on a second.
A few of them are great.
Yeah, but I'm like, geez, Christ, you have such a talent as an actor.
Yeah.
But now I know that if I put you with me to sit down and do a podcast with me, everyone's gonna hate the podcast. It's just gonna be incoherent babble from an imbecile.
There's only if Tom Hanks is always funny in an interview. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He knows how to be Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I'm always I've been curious lately about Tom Hanks. I don't know if it's just my my fans that are fucking with
Yeah,
me.
I know what they're talking
But
about.
I get all kinds of
Is
conspiracy.
he in jail with the was Saturday Night Live? Why does he have that
heard-
shitty kitchen?
I heard house arrest.
Yeah, they're saying it's not just my fans, but my fans are definitely sending me messages telling me like, "Hey, Tom Hanks, look into it."
Corey Feldman,
He's-
Poltergeist girl.
Yeah, he's a child molester and stuff
Went-
like
yeah.
that. And I'm like, what
I
the
saw
fuck?
that too. The Poltergeist girl was anyway. I have no
I have
time
no
to-
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, Charity.
Anyways, I'm working on getting a guest of all guests. I'm working on getting a guest soon who's synonymous with the biggest of conspiracy theories ever.
I hope you get it. I'd be looking forward to
we're
listening
working
to
on it now, and if we do, it's gonna be a big podcast.
The best tip I ever got when
Was a
there's
black
there's
dick.
yeah there's a point the tip of the black cock. There's going to be a point to what I'm saying. When I was working in New York years and years ago, I was the Deuce Bigelow's dad. I was the bathroom guy, Kramer's mom.
yeah.
I was the guy in the nightclub that would give you paper towels, soap, cologne, condoms. That
You,
guy.
at the bathroom.
Yeah,
you ever been to
yeah,
a club like that?
of
besides?
course, yeah.
Sometimes I would go to really expensive
Can I
restaurants.
say I hated those guys? Like,
Yeah, they're so annoying. Yeah, but I
needed.
needed the money. So I went to, it was a restaurant called Gustavino's, which is in the Queensboro Bridge. It was beautiful. It's high, like Oprah goes there, all that shit. So
I like it.
I was, it was one of the first co-ed bathrooms. So I'm outside the bathroom and everything's a stalls and people come up and they just leave me tip. Best tip I ever got was there was three $20 bills crumpled up in my bowl when I was emptying it. I had no idea who gave it to me. That was the best tip I ever got. A, because it was $60, but B, because whoever gave it to me didn't need the, see what I'm doing for you? Wink.
He just crumpled up.
He
60
just crumpled. I don't know who gave it to me. So my point being, the real person who wants to help COVID or charity is the guy that does it, that doesn't want the, like Better Call
Yeah,
Saul
dude.
on the
Yeah,
show,
yeah.
Mr. Show. Better Call Saul. He said, great line. He goes, charity is something you do when other people are watching.
Yeah, can I? I'm gonna say something. Well,
So the real
it's
person
like
that
the-
wants to help COVID and all this stuff, it's not a video saying, imagine, oh, look, I'm famous. No, it's the guy that actually donated money and you don't even know what he did.
I'm not gonna say what it was, but you're probably gonna understand because you're in the use. If you've been watching the business news, but there was some stuff that came out anyways that you could donate to. So I gave some money anonymous. You know, you're allowed to choose on the GoFundMe anonymous.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Then there's this other comic who I kind of lately haven't been liking anyway. He's been kind of like I've been noticing the phoniness about him. And this guy, his donation was a big one, to show. But it was not just his name; it was his full stage. Like, make sure
that you get, yeah.
it's him. And when I saw it, I was like, but I understand you didn't need to go to that much detail.
It was a business decision. It was a brand decision.
and I was like, oof. I go, oh my
Yeah.
God. And then he was playing it up like, look at what I, and I was like, oh, you,
Interesting.
oof, you
Yeah.
cocksucker.
Pat yourself on the back. Look how great I am.
It's
Yeah,
like
I noticed that too. I don't like it either. I noticed that too.
So that's to your point of the celebrities saying, we're here to help together. Do it to not get the applause. Do it because you really care.
Yeah. And the guy I'm speaking about is Canadian, for the record.
Canadian or Quebecer?
It's
Not
like
Quebecer.
it's like the YouTubers that you see that go around giving money to homeless. It's the same thing.
Yeah, they have a video of them giving money to homeless.
No.
Look at me.
No,
No, you want to do something? Go give it and turn
But
your camera off.
I do like the idea of making the younger generation realize that, like, if we do stuff within the community, it helps more than expecting the government, because the government's gonna try to squeeze out as much as they can on their end
Yeah.
before giving back, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if we take care of shit on our own around, we're gonna do much quicker and much better work than waiting for the government. The government is inefficient. Look at this guy. 3 days to arrest him. They refused. It took the entire fucking south side of the city burning down.
Yeah.
Okay, people getting kidnapped, fucking shootings, anarchy for them to make that fucking decision. 3 days. 3 days for them to make the most logical decision.
Where does the problem lie there? Municipally or federally? It's the city.
Municipally,
It's
yeah.
the mayor that's lost.
It's everyone's lost, because here's the thing: the police culture, right? Where the thin blue line, where yeah, he's wrong, but he's one of ours, so we can't go against him. Like, that's why there was cops. Harry was telling me this before. That's why there was the cop standing next to him that you could tell, no, it's a little fucked up, but I can't make him look bad. You can't make the other officer look bad in front of
Police
people.
Benevolent
Yeah,
Association.
so that's the kind of shit where even the people that are involved in that, it's like, look, that's what I'm trained to do. Is I have to have his back no matter what. I can't make him look bad in front of people, even though if it was the situation was reversed. Let's say it was me, Poseidon, you, and Poseidon's holding someone down, and he's citizen's arrest or whatever, and he's choking the guy or whatever. I'd be like, bro, yeah, the guy said can't breathe. Okay, Malaka, get the fuck off him a bit. Like, the guy can't fucking breathe. Hold him down another way. As the cops, you can't do that. You can't turn around and be like, stupid,
this is
stop doing
where,
that.
no pun intended, it's not black or white.
Yeah.
There's a gray area because now the right thing to do is this, but there's also the strong police brotherhood that I have to
that's
support.
that's the big issue.
Problem.
Yeah, it's not white Americans.
That's the unions. That's
big-
the
yeah.
technicalities. The why somebody gets off in a court case.
Exactly.
This is where the problem lies.
Exactly. So anyway, all that to say, if you can, it's always better if you could build something community grassroots wise and do stuff. You're always going to get a better effect than waiting for the government. That's why private industry always does better than public, because that's all they do. That's their job. They have a mandate. They have a mission.
They went to space.
Yeah, exactly. Private industry went to space. Yeah, but whereas the government, they don't. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just taxpayer funded. There's no. It's kind of like they're getting unlimited resources as long as we're dumb enough.
We're
to keep
gonna
paying.
go on a fact-finding mission.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
bullshit.
Yeah, but if you're a private industry, motherfucker, you better fucking deliver.
Yeah, this is
or
my
you're-
company.
or
I'm
you're
Vince
not getting
McMahon.
or
You're
you're not getting a
fired.
paycheck. Yeah, you're not getting a paycheck.
That's fucked up. Anyway, that's why I don't watch that stuff.
Yeah.
What about the girl who got fired in Central Park?
Oh, so I only saw
Okay.
a bit of this.
That's the only thing I read from social
Can
media.
you explain to
Okay.
him what happened so I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
hear
Alright.
it? I could hear it too.
In Central Park, there's a section called the Rambler, not La Rambla, like Barcelona.
The
But
Rambler?
the
Okay.
Rambler. In the Rambler, there is 240 something species of birds,
Oh shit.
Interesting.
and the rule is make your dog walk on the leash, because if the dog goes
kills a
and
bird?
does something, it affects the birds. So this girl was walking her dog without a leash, and a black guy who at 7:30 in the morning was watching birds because it's his hobby with binoculars.
Black guys
likes-
have weird hobbies.
relax to watch birds. He tells her, "Excuse me, do you mind putting your dog on the leash? That's the rule." And she said
They both acted like a Karen.
they got into an argument. They both started recording each other, and she
What?
called 911 saying a black man is threatening me. He's like, "I'm not threatening you." Blah, blah. Long story short, she got fired. He was right. You're not allowed walking the dog. She used an African American man is aggressive with me. That's what got her fired. Where all the guy was trying to do. But again, what he could have said was, put your dog on a leash. A lot of money has been spent here because of the dogs and because of this and because of that and because of the birds. He didn't do that. He said, the rule is put your dog on a leash. It's like, fuck you. What are you going to tell me to do? That's why it happened. You see?
With basically double Karen, because even though he's
Yeah.
right, it is annoying. Like the
La
sign
manière,
says,
la
yeah.
manière that he did it. He
Yeah.
did it like the sign says.
Yeah, so
asshole.
he acted
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
Karen.
I get it.
Then she fucking out Karen'd his
Yeah,
Karen.
yeah.
And
Correct.
then it was the cops showed up and said, well, this Karen kind of got a little racist, so we'll
Yeah.
take the other Karen side because it is the rules. It was man Karen, woman Karen, fucking, it was Karenception.
Two Karens.
Man.
So la manière in which he did it.
The
I would have
manner
been.
in which.
Excuse me. If you don't walk your, if you see what happens is that we meet the birds, and I would explain everything. She would be like, "Oh, okay, ciao."
But you know
Instead,
what?
he went.
But also to add a bit more, so that bitch was choking her dog because it wasn't Badly. She was holding
The dog is gone,
by
by
the
the
neck,
way, huh?
and the
the
dog
dog
was
is in a
rescued.
shelter.
So the rescue shelter that gave the dog 2 years ago, I think, saw the video
it back.
and took the dog back and said, "You stupid bitch! We saw you on video choking the dog. At least if you had the leash, you wouldn't be choking the dog." Yeah, bitch.
Anyway,
Anyways, they both Karen. Now here's the
Yeah.
thing: what job did she do that she lost her job?
she worked at a mutual funds company.
Okay, so I don't believe that she should have lost her job. This had nothing to do with her.
Yeah,
No,
well,
because
that's what I was
now
about to say.
again corporate opinion.
So this is why I hate cancel culture. Because even though obviously this is I love dogs and I hate Karens, so I don't like this lady. I'm not a fan of this woman. However, I do not believe that was the correct punishment was for her to lose. It has nothing to do with it. That would be like that
know
would be
what?
like you right now.
they
you,
both
you,
should have not recorded each other. Is what they
you
should have
work
done.
9 to 5 at a bank, okay? You work 9 to 5. On Saturday, you were out with your friends. You got a little drunk. You got into a bar fight. You beat up a guy. He beat you up. It doesn't matter. On Monday morning, they tell you, look, bro, you work here. You're good. But word on the street is you got into a bar fight and you beat some guy up or whatever. Or you got beat up. It doesn't matter. You got into a bar fight. You got drunk. we have a zero tolerance policy here for violence. or
Yeah, but the
drinking."
guy was threatening
You're
my
like,
girlfriend.
No, not just that. Yeah, I understand, but the violence was not at work. I wasn't on
Yeah.
the clock.
No, I
and
agree with you.
Neither was the alcohol consumption. Yeah, but we have rules here.
I agree with
standards.
you.
That's
Yeah.
crazy to
And
me.
then the argument.
I love the days of when you would finish your job, you go home, you
So
can live a
Katsi Joy.
personal, you can live your personal life.
Uh,
Unless you're an abuser, let's just say right now you're a rapist or whatever. Okay,
That's a different story.
But you got into an argument in the park because you're a bitch and the other guy was a bitch too. It's two bitches getting into an argument. Why are you? You know why? Why are we involving the mutual fund company?
This is the whole
You know
Nick
what-
DiPaolo double standard argument.
But you
It
know what?
is a double
Their
standard.
argument is that you represent that company.
That which is bullshit.
What, 24 hours a day I represent this mutual
Yeah, that's
fund crap?
you're not paying me to represent you. You're paying me 9 to 5.
Yeah, to
You're
your
not
job.
paying me to represent
you know, this kid, because of some idiot that wanted because of some idiot somewhere, this kid gets the job of his dream, going to Saturday Night Live, and gets
Shane
fired.
Gillis.
Yeah,
Yeah, Shane Gillis.
because of some idiot who said society doesn't like your behavior 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was just him. His name is Seth Simons, I believe. He's a stupid bitch.
Okay, what about,
he's a sketch guy who's a failed comic. He's not a funny person. So what happens is he goes online.
So he was a jealous asshole.
Oh, dude, he's even attacking Tim Dillon because I think he's some kind of self-hating
But
homophobe
do you
now or
remember?
some
Do you
shit,
remember
Seth Simons.
Sarah Silverman
Yeah, he
saying
attacks-
chinks on politically incorrect?
You remember that. People
I
right now
do.
are gonna remember
She
that.
said chink.
Of course. So look, so basically what this guy does is he was never a good comic, right? He couldn't make it as a comic.
Yeah.
So he became a self-proclaimed, I'm a comedy critic. You can't be a critic of something you failed at. You're not good enough to be a critic, you know?
Have you ever watched
go be
Roger
a
Ebert's movie?
Go be a barista. Yeah, that's why you don't trust these critics. Anyways, so he goes and he just shits. What he does, he tries to, when you have something big coming up, you have a big break, you're on SNL, whatever, he goes and tries to uncover out of context clips of stuff you said before. And if you're a comedian, you said a lot of crazy stuff that if you take him out of context, sounds absurd, you know? So that's what he does. And he tries
Yeah,
to,
his whole life is based
his
on
whole-
if I can't
But
make it,
hold
I'm going to
on.
make
his
everybody
whole
else
life
suffer.
is based on, since I'm not good enough to be at the
Yeah.
same field as you, I am going to work tirelessly to make sure you can't succeed anymore.
Anyway, is he okay,
And
Shane
what does
Gillis
he gain
now?
from this?
Nothing.
Shane Gillis is fine, bro.
He gains nothing?
What does he gain? Does he make money? Does he have a
Nothing.
brand?
People-
This
no, he
idiot?
doesn't make money.
That's
His
psycho
blog
shit.
is shit. People just hate him.
That's psycho shit.
Anyway, it was
That's
so
insane.
sad. I felt so bad for that kid.
Yeah, he's a
He
good.
was
He's a good
fucking-
dude too. He's funny, but he's doing great, bro. His podcast is awesome. He's got the Patreon up. He fucking
Okay, good for
travel,
him.
bro. He's touring. He's fine. It worked
Look,
out in his
another
favor.
thing too with Saturday Night Live is like we all have this dream to be on Saturday Night Live, but in reality, the Saturday Night Live I want to be on
that I wanted to be on
has
doesn't exist anymore.
I'm standing next to Chris Rock and Adam Sandler and Chris Farley.
It doesn't exist
That's
anymore.
my Saturday
Yeah,
Night
it
Live.
doesn't exist anymore.
Our generation Saturday Night Live would have been maybe Bill Hader and Jason Sudeikis a little bit. These are our, it doesn't exist. So this idea of Saturday Night Live, it's like when Vince McMahon calls, I'm going to be, and that's because you want to be in the world of Macho Man and Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
It's not like
but
that
instead,
anymore.
if you want to go now, you got to be part of Thugonomics.
Yeah, exactly. The poor guy died. Huh? There's a guy, another wrestler died.
Yeah, I saw
He
last week.
drowned.
Yeah, it's a little known fact that wrestlers can't swim.
Black.
A lot of them drown?
No, it's a joke.
Anyway,
Oh,
he
okay.
said he saved his kid. Anyway, very sad.
Anyways, I don't want to hear about it now. That's you're quite the Debbie Downer, sir.
Yeah, seriously. And even wrestling is apparently wrestling doesn't make as much money as it used to, and that's why that whole like
Well, how can it?
job change of a couple of months ago, Triple H changed his job title.
Okay.
It's like they were all positioning themselves because they knew that the boss was going to sell a big chunk of it.
Well, can I say something right now that
So
people?
now they're being investigated.
So
So
here's
they
the
sold
thing.
a big piece of the stock.
But here's the thing. This is the thing that fucks with me all the time.
Before it
People don't
tanked.
get. It's not making as much money. Well, all these companies, like after a couple of years, people, you hear the same thing. It's not making as much as it used to. How can it? Listen to this, right? You have, let's say, 1 million fans, okay? And without the through the years, if you're doing successful, you're providing a good service or a good product you're giving out, depending on what the business is, you're gonna probably grow. So let's say in 1980, your fan base was 1 million people, and then it's fucking 1.5 million 20 years later. Let's just say, these are hypothetical numbers now. Within that time, if you've decided to also bring in more talent, you have to pay them. Go to new medias, you have channels now. You're investing in
They
new
have
shows.
a television network.
Yeah, so you're spending more money. So how can you, when you're overspending, how can you be surprised when you're like, oh, they're not making as much as they used to. It's impossible now. You have all this infrastructure built, and you have all these costs associated with it. You're kind of fucking yourself. You're crippling yourself. You should have just stayed at the core group of stuff that make you money and that you could be excellent at. You don't need a reality show. You don't need 15 reality
That's because
shows.
a lot of the guys on top are egomaniacs.
Yeah.
And they listen to their board of directors. And look, you know what the secret to Vince McMahon's success was? Merch. He went the route of Gene because, like comedians, what do? You fill up a room and sell your crap outside.
Yeah.
These Hulkamania T-shirts made a killing.
Yeah, because it's fun. You want to have merch from the stuff that you watch that you like. Yeah.
In cash. I think the ATM version of merch only came out in the last 10 years. You know how much cash money was made from 1980 to today in
big
t-shirts?
wrestling contracts. I know this because I watch a lot of these videos on YouTube. Big wrestling contracts, like the yay or nay, back in the 80s, it wasn't determined by just the pay that they're giving you, right? You'd get, like, let's say $200,000 a year. The big selling point was how many points you're going to get off the merch,
off the T-shirts, and that's why Ultimate Warrior fought.
That's what they would fight for, because they'd be like, all right, you're giving me, I don't want 500,000, give me 300,000 a year, but I want fucking 12% of all merch, because the merch. Poseidon,
how much Austin 316 T-shirts sold?
Never has anyone ever sold as many T-shirts as Stone Cold Steve Austin has for the WWE.
Yeah.
And he had a favorable contract too. He made a killing.
Yeah.
Forget the regular contract he's paid just off the merch. And we're not talking about 50%. We're talking about you would get 12.7% and you would make fuck you money off it. Just think about it, right? Because they're it's not like me who's making shirts to give them for free. So I'm paying for shirts. I'm buying them.
Yeah,
to give them out.
$35, man.
Yeah, I'm doing it just to promote. You know what I mean? So people, they're part of the crew. They wear them and they promote. That's why I'm doing them. But if I had my own factory and the shirts would cost me, what do they cost in the factory? $2. And you're selling them at $20, $30. Poseidon, and everyone's buying them, you're killing it.
If they would have stayed there without having to worry about reality shows with Bobby Heenan.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Vince McMahon.
Yeah, there's a business aspect to it.
Yeah, 10%. That's what, $3, let's say.
So let's say if you would,
$30.
I would sell Poseidon shirts,
Yeah.
$30, and you'd get $3 a shirt. But I'm fucking moving 10,000 shirts a month.
Look,
30,
even
30
in
G's a
my
month.
Just you're making 30 G's a month.
even
with your
in,
10%.
in my own little experience of shows of selling shirts, I did okay in the lobby. You know,
I don't sell shirts. The only shirts I do is I pay for them from Patreon to give to patrons. So
there's also a time and
a
place to sell merch and a way to sell merch.
There's a time and place the way you were telling me this, but there's also it's a whole business. Like I'm trying my best to create more content, more podcasts. Want people to sign up and enjoy the experience. If I spread myself too thin,
yeah.
And managing merch sales, doing it properly so you don't lose all your fucking money is not easy.
We have a friend in the t-shirt business who's also in comedy.
I have a few
and I
friends
wonder
with
why
t-shirt.
he hasn't
I
capitalized on that.
Well, you know what's funny is I actually went to him because I thought about making 2 drink minimum shirts with him and getting them, at cost or whatever, like figuring something out so we could actually sell them. And what's fucked up about him is that it's cheaper for me to get t-shirts from like Vistaprint or whatever.
He didn't look at the big picture. He didn't look at the partnership.
It's cheaper for me to get them from like people who that's their business. So obviously they're not selling it at cost. Than it was for him, and he told me this is the cost price. So this is so I'm like, what
it's
the
not
fuck?
Possible.
It's not possible.
That's
impossible.
That's an antiquated mentality that he has, and it's a shame because he could have made money.
Oh, for sure, he could have made money because I wanted to do a full thing. I wanted to do like a Pantelis, 2 drink minimum.
Isn't
Mike Ward's
Vistaprint supposed to be the more expensive one?
Yeah, but for me it works because I'm not trying to make money off it. I use discount codes to get as many as I can. It's just promos. You give them out basically because it's not wasted money. Because what's gonna happen is, let's say Poseidon's a fan, he wins a shirt. He's wearing his 2 drink minimum Pantelis shirt. His friend's like, "Oh, that's a cool shirt. What the fuck is that?" "Oh, you don't listen to podcasts." "No, but what's that?" "Oh, it's a podcast I listen to. I like these guys. They're fucking funny. They bully the retarded one on the corner." "Oh, get the fuck out of here." You know what I mean? You're promoting.
Plus, I just ordered stickers for my restaurant.
Plus, also, it's amazing engagement, bro. Fans, dude, I love wearing shirts of shit I like, bro. Well, I'm gonna wear a shirt I don't like. Fuck that shit. I'd rather wear a shirt of something that I like.
Speaking of which, the next time I'm sitting here, I will be wearing
merch.
One of your merch.
You should.
Yeah,
you should.
I've always been a fan of the one color T-shirt.
So I heard that you guys were supposed to go on a podcast, a friend of ours, a Jofo podcast, and neither you nor Massimo showed up. Is this true? Is the internet rumor mill correct?
Yeah, you know what? I found out I was not going to be on that podcast basically we got a message on a group message. Hey guys, so we all set for tomorrow? And I was like, yeah. And Massimo was like, yeah, it's not happening anymore. We're not doing it. And that's, I don't know, bro. I feel like I've been broken up with.
So Massimo broke up with you, and then they said, we're not going to have just Grasso on. We're not stupid.
We're
not fucking Pantelis.
I was on a show yesterday on terrestrial radio. And the reason I was on was because of the podcast. And,
and it doesn't exist anymore.
I had to explain that. Not that it doesn't
You should
exist. It's
say
on hiatus.
It
is on hiatus because I don't know what's happening.
Every episode should be like filling in for Massimo.
In my personal opinion, that's, you know how the ongoing gag of I'm sorry we don't have time for Matt Damon.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually wanted to do that, where for the next 20 years somebody's filling in for Massimo. And it's still Massimo's voice in the beginning.
Actually, Poseidon's gonna hang out with Massimo later. They're recording videos together. And in fact, he's been offered the job at the Northern Boys podcast. It's Massimo's new.
I think it'd be great. No, again, I love Massimo like a brother, man. I
love Massimo's our boy.
There's be no reason why he wouldn't be in my life. I only like to hang out with good people.
No, I think I don't think there's an actual beef. I think it's just
I don't think there's a beef either.
With him moving, he feels the same way we do. Whereas podcasts, we're doing out of necessity on the Zooms, on the Skypes right now, all comedians. But if you're doing a podcast that you're with guests or your boys, this is 100% preferred over anything else.
Dude, I just paid the month of May for an empty office that just is basically storage. We haven't been there.
Well, when I hadn't come here in 2 months, I was still paying rent, so shut the fuck up.
No, I'm just saying. So that's why. That's really, it's a practical reason. It's not a content reason or a friendship reason. Granted, we haven't spoken about it yet.
Yeah, your studio's in Jersey, right?
Yeah, Jersey City. So I gotta get on the horn and call Massimo ASAP.
What was that?
I don't know. I went to smile at the
When
Patreons.
I should talk to Massimo too. Now that he's driving around town and stuff, have him on the podcast, and I haven't had him in a bit.
Yeah, I haven't caught up with him, but I haven't caught up with anybody. I caught up with you. You called me. Yes. I have no idea what anyone's
forced
doing.
you
But
out
wait,
of retirement.
yeah, actually, how did the?
Yeah, you randomly saw Poseidon in the street.
That's actually really funny. You saw me coming out of my building, and then
He's normally coming into his building.
Where was I? Okay, here's where I was.
but hold on. Think of the events. How crazy it is. I had to be coming out. He had to be passing through there, taking the shortcut.
But you know that he was parked there just jerking off.
Oh yeah,
watching you, right?
Basically,
and you had to call me
At that exact moment.
at that exact moment
For you to be like, you'll never believe who's in front of me right
Yeah.
now.
the light. This is all because the light on Lackady was red, and so I turned right on Curbs. If I would have taken Lackady straight, it wouldn't have been at the exact same time. So what I did was I went down, and then wherever your street is, then I came back to get on Lackady, and that's when you were coming out, and I was turning right. Because I was downtown, I went to the Mac store, which the Apple store is still closed.
Yeah, all these fucking stuff. Anyways, having said that, Guido Grasso, I know that currently the Southern Boys podcast, the podcast which I am a fan of, is on hiatus. But apart from there, where are they going to find you? I have all your social media channels. I got your Facebook. I got your Twitter. I got your Instagram. All up in the description.
Amazing.
Is there anything else that you think is worth letting people know about?
Just keep following the pizza world. The pizza, Sapori di Napoli, if you want a good pizza.
Keep following Pizzagate.
Yeah, Pizzagate.
Over here every
other
weekend.
Other than that, I'll pop up from time to time. I'll be here. Keep in touch with Pantelis.
Yeah, well, of course.
Otherwise,
So Guido Grasso, support Guido, friend of the show. You can find him. Look at the social links over there. Guido Grasso Jr. on Twitter.
I haven't been very active, so keep in mind I'm still social media distancing.
Yeah, it's a form of mental retardation, but the man is trying. We're going to motivate him.
I am trying.
Head over to panteliscomedy.com to see everything that I'm up to. If you want to support and you want to get exclusive content, bonus stuff, you want to enter to win t-shirts because we're giving them out, it's patreon.com/Pantelis. That's the only place you could also get Poseidon's In Bed with Poseidon live stream when he does them almost every Saturday. Now, having said that, you can also check out 2 Drink Minimum. It goes live every Tuesday at around 3 p.m. on our YouTube channel, and then it's available everywhere noon Wednesday. Guido, it looks like you have a question.
It's a little known fact
Which?
with Guido Grasso. That's a good name.
Oh, actually, that's not a bad name. Little known, or fun. Yeah, little known fact.
Little known
Something like
fact.
that. I like I Digress with Guido Grasso.
Did you know No, that's
No, I
too
don't
much.
like Did
That's
You
too much stuff you should know.
But it sounds a little douchey. Did you know, bro? I don't know.
Oh, did you know, bro? Is different.
You're gonna find Poseidon at the Poseidon69 on both Twitter and Instagram. That's his handle. He's posting a lot of stuff. He's taking his TikTok videos. They're all stupid, but it's Poseidon, so it's fun
Yes.
to watch him be creative and do shit
Like
like
to
that.
thank Best Western Montreal Airport.
Best Western for not raping Grasso, taking care of him. And you can catch us here live every Sunday on the YouTube channel. Pantelis Live starts at 4 p.m. every Sunday. We're active in the chat. We read what you're telling us. It's a fun little time. It's become the breakthrough show of the channel.
How's
really.
our friend Jessica Sorrell?
She's there. Just Sorrel is fucking. She's always around. She's probably looking for you because if you went missing with us, you probably went missing with your fucking fans too.
No, I haven't been anywhere.
So check all that out, guys. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to support us, support Guido, and remember, go fuck yourself.
Thank you for supporting me.